Welcome back, chess fans. Like this video and subscribe for more thrilling games. Knight to f3.
Pawn to c5.
Control of the center, preparing to develop other pieces, and creating space for the bishop to potentially pin on black's knight.
Knight to c6 is excellent. This develops a knight. Pawn to g6 is best.
Pawn to e3 is the best move.
Pawn to g6 is the best move.
Developing the bishop to strong central square, preparing to control the king side and potentially pinning the black knight on c6.
Bishop to g7 is best. This defends a rook on height. This develops a bishop. This fianchettos the bishop by putting it on a powerful diagonal.
Kingside castle.
Pawn to e5.
Knight to c3 is excellent. This develops a knight. Pawn to d3 is best. This defends a pawn on c4.
Knight from file g to e7 is best. This develops a knight.
Pawn to e3 is good. Pawn to d3 is best. This defends a pawn on c4.
Kingside castle is the best move.
Pawn to d3 is best. This defends a pawn on c4.
Pawn to d6 is excellent. This defends a pawn on c5. Pawn to d5 is best. This offers a trade.
Rook to b1.
Pawn to h6 is good. Pawn to a6 is best.
Pawn to a3 is best.
Pawn to a5.
Knight to e1.
Bishop to e6.
Knight to d5.
I played pawn to f5 to challenge black's pawn structure and create space for my pieces to develop. The move also pins black's knight on f6, making it difficult for them to respond effectively.
Bishop to d2 is the best move.
Bishop to f7 is good. Pawn to a4 is best.
Pawn to b4 is the best move.
Pawn captures on b4 is excellent. This is a trade. Pawn catches on b4 is best. This is a trade.
I played pawn captures on b4 to challenge Sergey's pawn structure and create a potential pin on his knight, forcing him to respond to the threat on the queen's head. This move also opens up the b-file for my rook to potentially use later.
Knight captures on d5 is best. This is a trade.
Pawn captures on d5.
Preparing to develop the knight to a strong central square, supporting the pawn on pawn to e5 and putting pressure on black's position.
Pawn captures on a5.
Queen to c7 is good. This defends a pawn on b7. This attacks the pawn. Queen captures on a5 is best.
Pawn to e4 is best. This offers a trade.
Rook captures on a5 is best. This develops a rook.
Knight to a3 is the best move.
Rook from file to a8.
Knight to e3.
Pawn to f4.
I played knight to c4 to challenge Sergey's pawn structure and prepare for potential pawn breaks on the queen's side. The move also pins his knight on c6, making it difficult for him to maneuver.
Pawn to g5 is good. Rook from file f to b8 is best. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns.
Queen to b3 pinning the knight on g7, preparing to develop the queen's side and putting pressure on black's position, while also eyeing the pawn on f4.
Rook from file to b8 is good. This develops a rook. Bishop to h5 is best.
Bishop to f5 is the best move.
Queen to d7.
Queen to b5.
I played bishop to e8 to prepare for the potential pawn storm on the queen side, supporting the pawn to a5 push and preparing to develop the rest of the pieces. This move also slightly weakens the kingside pawn structure, but I aim to compensate with the upcoming pawn breaks.
Queen captures on d7.
I played bishop captures on d7 to take advantage of the pin on the knight, forcing Sergey to move his knight away from the queen, creating a potential fork on the f-file. This move also opened up the d-file for my rook to potentially use later.
Bishop to c7.
Pawn to f3 is best. This offers a trade. This attacks the bishop. This move gains the tempo.
Bishop to h1.
Pawn to g4.
Knight to b6 is the best move.
Knight to g6 is good. Pawn to b5 is best. This attacks the knight. This move gains a tempo.
Rook to b6 is the best move.
Attacking the kingside pawn structure, king to h7 prepares to potentially launch a kingside attack, putting pressure on black's position and creating a potential weakness on the kingside.
I played bishop captures on f8 to gain a strong initiative and put pressure on black's position. By capturing the knight, I also opened up the f-file for my rook to potentially use later, creating a strong attacking possibility.
Knight captures on f8 is best. This defends a bishop on d7. This captures a higher value piece.
Rook from file f to b1 is good. Rook to c1 is best. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns.
I played bishop to c8 to prepare for the potential pawn storm on the queen side, supporting the pawn to a5 pawn and putting pressure on black's position. This move also helps to control the pawn to d5 square, which is a key strategic location.
I played knight to d6 to challenge Sergey's pawn structure and prepare for potential pawn breaks on the queen's head. The move also pins his knight on f6, gaining a strategic advantage.
Knight to d7 is the best move.
Knight captures on c8 is the best move.
Rook captures on c8.
Rook captures on b7 is best. This attacks the knight. This move gains a tempo. This captures a free pawn.
Knight to f6.
Pawn to h3 is excellent. This offers a trade. Bishop to g2 is brilliant. This sacrifices the bishop.
Pawn to h5.
Pawn captures on g4 is the best move.
King to g6 is good. Knight to g8 is best. This attacks the rook. This move gains a tempo.
Rook captures on e5 is best. This captures a free pawn.
Rook to c3 is excellent. This attacks the pawn. Rook to c2 is best.
Rook to e6 is a strong move, attacking black's pawn on pawn to e5 and preparing to launch a kingside attack. It also pins black's knight on f6, gaining a strategic advantage.
King to h7.
Rook to d1 is the best move.
Pawn captures on g4.
Bishop to g2 is the best move.
King to g8.
Rook to c6 is the best move.
Rook to b3.
Pawn to d6 is the best move.
Rook to b8 is inaccuracy. This permits the opponent to attack a piece. The opponent can play f5. Rook to b5 is best.
Pawn to e5.
Attacking the kingside pawn structure, knight to h7 prepares to potentially launch a kingside attack, putting pressure on black's position and forcing them to respond to the potential threat.
Pawn to d7. The game is over. White wins.